Motronics.
Hey folks, Alex Luft here with the Motronics Network and GMAuthority.com, and I am on my way right now to do a rev off. It's going to be a rev off between two trucks, two GMCs, and well, two GMC Sierras, in fact. On the one hand, we're going to have a GMC Sierra AT4 with the optional catback performance exhaust system. And on the right, we're going to have ourselves the 2022 GMC Sierra AT4X with its stock exhaust system. Now, this is an interesting comparison because the truck with the catback exhaust system, that truck specifically sounds quite a bit meaner, quite a bit deeper than the tucked under exhaust treatment that we have in the AT4X. As many of you probably already know, the AT4X has a unique exhaust configuration for the Sierra lineup as a whole, and that's because it has a tucked under exhaust setup that really allows it to gain better approach and departure angles, so really better off-roading performance under really extreme conditions. The downside of that configuration in the AT4X is that, well, it is, the exhaust note it's quite a bit subdued. So we're going to line both trucks up side by side. We're going to start them up. First, we're going to start up the AT4 with the performance exhaust, and then we're going to let that idle for a bit so you can hear a lot of the exhaust notes there as it idles. And then we're going to start up the AT4X again with its stock exhaust and let that idle a bit, and then we're going to rev both trucks and see how both sound like. A few things that I should note about both trucks as well is that the performance exhaust system, it does, beyond the actual audible elements, beyond the actual louder exhaust note, it does offer an additional 13 horsepower and 8 pound-feet of torque gain over the stock exhaust, and that's when coupled with the 6.2 liter V8 L87 engine. So beyond the actual noise and the better sound that you get from the catback performance exhaust system, there's also just a little bit of power and torque gains. And I think that's really it. I should also note that both trucks are equally equipped when it comes to the engine. So the 6.2 liter L87 V8 is under the hood of both engines. And as a reminder, in stock form, this engine makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. I'm getting here right to the spot where we're going to do the rev off. So here we go. Well, that was quite eye-opening, at least it was for me, where we essentially have the same engine. It is the same engine in very similar trucks. Obviously, the AT4 and the AT4X have their differences, particularly as it relates to the suspension systems, but the engine is still the same exact engine between both the trucks that we just saw. And wow, what a difference an exhaust system can make. Whereas in the AT4, the optional catback performance exhaust system sounds really raucous and rough and really, quite a bit noticeable and loud. In the AT4X, the exhaust system is subdued, and that is obviously, as I'd mentioned previously, that's for reasons that have to do with off-roading and that have to do with actual performance off-road. Nevertheless, what I should close out with is this. As of right now, we're in June of 2022, it is impossible to get the optional catback performance exhaust system that we just saw on that AT4, it's impossible to get that system on the AT4X, and that is because that the bumper in the AT4X doesn't have the cutouts that are needed for that integrated dual exhaust setup. Whether or not it's possible to actually then switch bumpers with an AT4, meaning take an AT4 bumper, put it on an AT4X, and then put the performance catback exhaust system on the truck that way, that remains to be seen. I'm sure that's something we're going to be seeing in the coming months as the AT4X becomes more popular and more people take delivery of the truck and begin to make modifications.
Motronics.